This chart maps the trajectory of the modern economy. We're entering a divergence phase, defined by generative AI adoption. One class secures compounding leverage and scales exponentially. The other class, relying on traditional workflows, flatlines and declines. The most common reason professionals fall into that declining curve has nothing to do with a lack of effort. It is caused by tool exploration paralysis. When practitioners attempt to learn the AI ecosystem by randomly testing thousands of disparate tools as they launch, they trigger immediate cognitive overload. They test a text generator, an image editor the next, and a scheduling bot the next. Unstructured technological adoption fails to build leverage. It creates distracting noise. Actual capability requires a strict diet of depth. This means forcing constraint and focusing on rigor. Focus must shift away from the sheer volume of tools you know how to open, moving instead toward the foundational interaction mechanics that power all of them. We can structure this constraint using the GenAI Adoption Matrix, a chronological 4-phase framework. Phase 1 isolates pure interface mechanics. Phase 2 organizes the ecosystem through typology mapping. Phase 3 demands path specialization, and Phase 4 executes applied orchestration. Escaping the hype cycle requires building this impenetrable foundation of logic first. Without it, the technology stack lacks the stability to scale. Phase 1 comes with a strict rule: isolate your attention to a single general-purpose large language model, ignoring all other applications on the market. Large language models operate on probabilities. The central engineering challenge is extracting deterministic, reliable outputs from a system that is inherently probabilistic. Vague communication results in wavy, unstructured outputs. To enforce reliability, you must apply the A.I.M Framework to every interaction. A stands for actor. You force the model into a specific latent space by defining exactly who or what it is supposed to be. I is the input. You provide the exact system state, the situational context, and the historical variables the model needs to process the request. M is the mission. You establish the strict topology of the expected output and the specific criteria required for success. Consider a standard request: help me prepare for an interview. It provides no actor, minimal input, and an ambiguous mission. Now apply the A.I.M constraint. You are an experienced technical recruiter. I am a software engineer aiming for a senior role at Google. Your mission is to conduct a mock interview and explain how to optimize my answers. The generic command yields broad cliches. The A.I.M command forces the model to generate a targeted training module. In the modern generative AI landscape, output utility scales directly with the structural rigor of the human input. Once you master interface mechanics, you advance to Phase 2, mapping the broader ecosystem. Disregard the marketing claims of the thousands of micro-tools flooding your feed. Focus entirely on base modalities. All generative outputs can be categorized into 5 foundational typologies. The first 2 are text and reasoning, used for logical deduction, and data synthesis, used to analyze vast amounts of research. The remaining 3 drive creative output: vision for static images, temporal for fluid video, and audio for voice cloning and music. This categorization exposes a critical reality of the software market. The vast majority of applications are simply wrappers. A wrapper is a thin graphical UI layer. Underneath that interface, it is only pinging the same foundational models you learn to control in Phase 1. Build your technology stack based strictly on the daily tasks you need to execute, not on exploring the novelty of the week. Understanding these base typologies prevents you from paying a premium for a slick interface when you only require the foundational model operating beneath it. Phase 3 forces a structural bottleneck. You must stop exploring and choose a specific application path. Generalists fail in AI implementation because shallow breadth across 50 tools cannot produce deep, deployable assets in any of them. To gain actual utility, you must commit to one of 3 specialized architectural paths. Path 1 is the creator. This path leverages vision, temporal, and audio modalities to synthesize high-level media, replacing entire production teams. Path 2 is the builder. This path utilizes reasoning models to construct software logic and design complex agentic workflows that automate administrative pipelines. Path 3 is the engineer. This path bypasses interfaces entirely to focus on the academic and foundational layers, the mathematics of machine learning and neural networks. Your current career will likely dictate which path you choose, but the fundamental interface mechanics remain exactly the same. Perpetual exploration is a trap. Economic leverage is found through deep architectural specialization. This brings us to the final requirement, Phase 4, Applied Orchestration. This phase marks the transition from theoretical capability to real-world functional production. In this phase, the interface logic, the typology mapping, and your chosen specialization path compound to produce a tangible asset. For a builder, orchestration means deploying functional Python code to a live server. For a marketer, it means automating a client proposal pipeline so it runs without manual intervention. The goal is momentum. You are building multimodal systems where data routes itself continuously through the correct AI models, completing tasks without human prompting. Theoretical knowledge of AI depreciates as models update. The ability to deploy multimodal, automated output creates a functional advantage that outlasts the tools themselves. Individual tools and user interfaces will change daily. The foundational models and the logic structures required to command them remain largely static. Mastering this 4-phase framework provides a logical filter for the constant noise of the technology hype cycle. Managing artificial intelligence as a structural infrastructure requires a shift away from seeing it as a collection of novelties. Capability is measured by the strength of your architectural foundation, which remains constant even as individual tools cycle in and out of relevance. This chart shows the global economy's trajectory. Up to this moment, it's a stable path. But right here, the line fractures. The top line represents businesses integrating AI, generating exponential growth. Meanwhile, anyone avoiding it is falling behind, shrinking their market value in real time. The distance between these two groups is expanding every single month. Catching up later isn't going to be an option. Adapting right now is a matter of basic financial survival. Millions believe they are adapting by asking a chatbot to write a basic email or answer trivia questions. They treat these massive language models like novelty search engines. We call this the explorer phase. It feels productive, but it generates almost zero real-world value. This diagram shows the A.I.M Framework, a structural blueprint for prompt engineering. To get a high-quality response, you break your command into 3 blocks: actor, input, and mission. You define who the AI is, provide context, and state a clear objective. A perfect prompt is a prerequisite, but it produces limited value in isolation. Relying on text manipulation alone fails to create a scalable system or a tangible product. True mastery happens when you stop exploring randomly and start demanding specific, highly specialized outputs that solve a problem. To escape the explorer trap, you have to move past the generalist mindset. You have to pick a definitive operational lane and commit to mastering it. The first specialized lane is the creator path. This route is designed for marketers, designers, and anyone running a creative agency. The creator's primary advantage is extreme leverage. One person sitting alone at a desk now perfectly matches the output of an entire legacy production crew. By mastering high-end generation tools, a solo creator can produce premium user-generated ads, highly detailed animations, and complete cinematic video sequences that previously required weeks of rendering and thousands of dollars to shoot. But if you care more about logic and systems than media, your lane is the builder path. Builders are using AI to construct actual software architectures. They don't need a computer science degree. They are simply directing the machine to assemble logic gates and data flows to solve complex business problems. Their work results in tangible tools, custom AI agents for customer service, or internal workflows that automate data entry. Over time, these builders can stack these automations into functional software prototypes that solve specific business pains. Both the creator and the builder operate at the application layer. They use accessible software to completely bypass the traditional gatekeepers of the media and tech industries. Then there is the third route, the engineer path. This is for those pursuing rigorous academic and deeply technical careers. Engineers aren't interested in simple applications. They want to open the hood, strip the engine down to its bolts, and build the foundational technology from the ground up. This diagram illustrates what they work on: the neural network. Engineers map out how raw data gets processed, firing through the hidden layers, and they optimize the mathematics that allow a machine to learn in the first place. Their goal is to conduct pure research and develop entirely new AI models for major tech conglomerates and cutting-edge startups. If you are watching this and have no idea which of these paths fits you, your next step is simple. Spend a few days testing both creator and builder tools. Generate a cinematic video, then try building a basic automated workflow. See which output holds your interest. The engineer builds the engine. The creator and the builder drive the car. To survive the modern economy, you just have to decide where you want to sit. All of this remains theoretical until you put it to the test. The final hurdle in this process is translating your practice into a public, real-world deployment. That means taking the outputs you generated and putting them in front of a live audience. Pitch an AI-generated ad campaign to an actual client. Deploy an automated customer service bot for a local business. Your first public output will be flawed. Things will break. But that friction is the anvil. Striking the metal is the only way you acquire the skill, refine the product, and ultimately extract monetary value from your work. The technology is going to remain completely chaotic. Hundreds of new tools and entire platform shifts will drop every single week. Anchoring yourself as a creator, a builder, or an engineer converts that software noise into a focused career strategy. It is the only way to remain useful in an economy that moves faster than you can read.